How is it going, everybody? I am so glad each and every one of you could stop by. I greatly appreciate it. Today's video is a little something different. It's not what most of you come here for, but I have had some requests for it, so I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and do it. And what is that? It involves this right here behind me. So let's get to it. Now, right about now, you're probably asking, if you don't know me or haven't watched many of my videos, why is Camaro Time talking about stereos? Well, most of my videos, especially the editing videos that I do, are done in this room. Okay? Because I have my computer set up here. You know, this is what I edit with and everything. And people happen to have seen, when I was doing one of my videos, all of these down here. All there, and even over there. And what those are, for those of you that don't know, are LP records. LP stands for long play. It's 33 1/3 speed. And you get about 20 to 22 minutes per side of each record. Or each LP, depending on how you want to say it. Well, in order to listen to those, and yes, they do sound better. They really do. The sound is not as compressed as a digital recording, like something on iPod or you hear on the radio and everything. Yes, depending on the stereo you have, you know, your car speakers, your house speakers, whatever, that stuff sounds good. But you want to hear really, really good stereo sound, or stereophonic as they used to say in the day, get you some LPs. But like I said, you've got to have something to play them on. So that brings us to this. Right? Got to have something to play it on. So let's get into this and I'll explain everything to you. Had to set me up a couple little lights so you can see what's going on, because the stereo is dark and everything, and you just will not be able to see anything. But as you can see, I got what's referred to back in the day as tower speakers. They don't look like much. They've got the cover on them and everything. Let me take one of these off and you'll see exactly what's behind it. Yes, they are removable. There you go. Got the sub, the mid-range, and the tweeter. I like the way it looks better without the cover on it, but having a cat and dust and all that stuff, and me constantly in and out of this room and whatnot, I don't want to accidentally bump it and possibly damage one of them. And you will be amazed about these here in just a few minutes, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now up top, the first thing you see, of course, is this. What is this, you might ask? Yes, several people have asked me in my videos. This is just, I have a eBay store and everything that I used to put a lot of time and effort into, making money and whatnot. And this, of course, was for hats. I used to have hundreds and hundreds of hats, because I used to shoot professional archery and stuff, and then whenever I go to a thrift store or whatnot, I look for them. But I used to get free hats all the time from my sponsors and stuff. I mean, tons of hats. It's nothing for me to end up with 30 hats a year from my sponsors, like Hoyt, Doinker stabilizers, stuff like that. I'm not going to go through all of them because you're not going to know most of them. And then this old fella right here is for the shirts and jackets and stuff that I used to sell. I'll sell anything on there. Anytime I go to a thrift store and stuff, I look for all kind of stuff to sell. And you know, with clothing, you need something to model it. I also have necklace stands and everything, jewelry stands, so you can see them. Just like this. Not much. I mean, it's brand new, still in the box. I took it out. It still has the static cling paper on it and whatnot. So, you know, 99 cents for that. I'll sell it for 10 bucks. What the heck? Yeah, it's old. It goes with the Samsung 7s and stuff. But somebody out there will want it, and 10 bucks, can't beat it. You get enough 10 bucks, and all of a sudden you've got a little bit of money adding up, right? But anyhow, back to this. What we have up top, and this is what you've got to have to play those records, and this used to be in mint condition outside of the halos, and I was going to polish that and get those halos out. But one night the wife needed something glued together, so I hit it with super glue, and like a dummy, I set it up here because it needed to be stood up so that the parts would have pressure on them from the gravity and everything. And lo and behold, some of the super glue leaked through and got on it. Now I'm still going to try to polish it. I'm going to hit it with some plastic polish. And if that doesn't work, I might take some really fine sandpaper, like 2000 grit, and sand it, and then come back and hit it with some polish and everything, make it look like new. But that'll take care of it. Now when you get into audio equipment, the more adjustment you have, the better your audio will sound. This is a Technics SL220 turntable, record player, however you want to look at it. Why do I like this particular one? Why am I using it? Well, number one, it's adjustable back here, right? And what that does, it counteracts the weight of the needle, the head, okay? And that's what's so bad about the cheap ones like Crosley and stuff like that. They put so much pressure on the front of the head to where when it's playing a record, it just, oh my God, it wears out the grooves in the record. I mean, it just makes them sound like crap. So you've got that, and then you've got what's called anti-skating. In other words, whenever this is over here, you don't want to just fly off the end. You don't want it to constantly be pulling. You want it to pull real slow. So that takes care of that. These two knobs up here, well, first you got 33s and 45s. Like I said, those over there are 33s, right? All those down there. There's about 500 of them. But you have smaller ones, and I'll show you a couple of those in a minute. I got a few down here. I don't really mess with 45s, but 45s are typically singles, really small, like 11-inch records. So all you got to do is flip it over to change the speed, and right in the middle is 78. 78 is old school records like you see on the crank record players and stuff. Yes, I can play them on this. And then what happens is, depending on if you got a 33 or 45, you see all these ridges, these little pointers, these little knobs, these little pieces of metal. Look pretty cool, don't they? Well, they are not just for design. They actually serve a purpose. And let me grab a record over here, and I just happen to have one laying out that I'll use to show you that I am going to donate to the Goodwill. Let me get over here and get it out of the plastic and stuff. Now the way this works is you just put your record on there, and yes, it has a little bit of lint on it. We'll take care of that in just a second. Cueing and stop. Cueing, what that does, it raises up your arm. And then if you move it over, it starts it to spin, see? And then this is why you have a vinyl style. And what it does, it gets that lint off. Your record's spinning this way, so you want to put it on there and pull it towards you to fight against the rotation, and then walk it off the side after it makes a full rotation. And what that does is it gets rid of all that lint. Now look at it. One piece right there in the middle. It gets rid of it. Now back to the light. See how fast it's spinning? What, dude? He's wanting to get in the video tonight too. Good boy. See how fast it's spinning? Well, if you look at that very bottom row, since we are on 33s, that's the very bottom row, okay? I don't know how well it's showing up. But anyhow, if it looks like they're moving, you'll turn this knob one way and see how they start to move. God, I hope that's coming through so you can see it. Well, if it's moving, what you do is you take that knob and turn it until those dots quit moving. In other words, they're stationary. Because if you don't, if it's going real fast to the left, that happens to be the way the record's spinning, your song and your record will sound real fast. It'll sound like it's in the wrong speed. If it's not spinning fast enough to keep up with the record, in other words, your record is spinning but the dots are going that way, then the song will drag. It'll sound like, you know, like somebody's really high. But that takes care of the turntable. Let's go down to the actual stereo. Now up here I have my cassettes. What are cassettes? Oh my God. Yeah, a lot of people's going to be asking, what are cassettes? Some of you know. Bunch of cassettes. Then I have my 2 headphones. These I actually picked up at Goodwill. They were $3.99. Yeah, they look funky, I know. But they sound real good for $3.99. I mean, they sound real good. And they're an open air design. And what that means is, whenever you have on a set of headphones and somebody's trying to talk to you, if it has the open air design, you can still hear them talk. But the only drawback to that is people can hear the music if you have it up kind of loud. And it lets air in, it lets it breathe, so when you take off, if you've ever worn headphones for a while, you know your ears will sweat, and this will prevent it. Now these are the higher end. I have tried $1,000 set of headphones, I've tried $2,000 set of headphones, I've tried $50, I've tried $100, I've tried $3.99, I've tried just about every type of headphone there is. And these are made by a company called Audio Technica. Okay, Audio Technica. Get over here in this light so you can see it. And let me tell you, these Audio Technicas are almost studio quality headphones. And what I mean by that, studio quality is about the best quality that you can get as far as headphones. It reproduces every single sound, every single strike, every single cymbal, noise, anything that is in a studio. These headphones will almost pick it up. These are the best headphones I've ever tried in my life for the price. Now yes, I've tried some that picks up just a little bit better, but as far as bass response and mid-range and low-end stuff and the upper high end, cannot beat these for the buck, for the dollars. You really cannot. They still make them new. This is a limited edition color, the tan with the blue. I just like the way it looks, so that's why I ordered them and got them. But they sound excellent, guys. Okay, if you remember making a big deal out of the speakers, here you will learn why. This is a JVC RX97 stereo. From here up, and then the turntable that's down here, okay? RX97. This was made in 1989. Yes, 1989. And those speakers look that good. And I have played this just about every single day since 1989. Talk about quality. What other speaker and stuff are you going to get to last that long? That's unbelievable. But here we have the amplifier, and this amplifier takes the sound from the tuner, the tape deck, the disc player, amplifies it to where we can hear it as humans and sends it out of the speakers. This is like, it's not a very powerful one, but it gets the job done. It's 125 watts per channel, and I have those speakers hooked up to it, the factory ones, and then I have my JVC bookshelf speakers hooked up to it, one over there, and then there's one over there. So I've got 4 channels, and each one of them has 125 watts going at one time. And as you can see, when you turn it on, it looks kind of cool too. It gets nice little lights so you can see what's going on. It's got a let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 band equalizer. Then it's got all your controls where you can, if you have an external tape deck, you can turn it on. Tape deck 1, which is here. CD, which again is down there. Then you've got your tuner, which is here. Then you've got your phono, which right now is up here. Then you've got a VCR if you want to hook one up, and you could even run your TV through it. Like I said, this is top of the line stuff back in the day. 1989, you couldn't get anything that sounded any better than this unless you're spending $10,000, $15,000. It really does sound that good. Let's see if I can get anything on the tuner real quick, and I'll show you. And that's just the Bose speakers over there on the wall. Let's turn on the actual speakers here.
Charlotte's Classic Rock 99.7 The Fox. Jeff Kent here. Appreciate you being on board the drive home. It is finally here. The Queen's Feast Charlotte Restaurant Week presents.
Sounds pretty good. But then down here we have the tuner, which is a FX97 digital, and all this is getting power from here. There's a lot of receptacles in the back of the amplifier. You just take it and plug it in the back of there. So when you turn this off, you can see it turns that off. But I mean, it's very simple, easy to control. You got push buttons, you got a remote control also. Then you have the tape deck, dual tape deck. You can play one at a time, or you can put one here, play it, and have another one sitting in this side, and whenever that one finishes, this one will start. Or you can record on this one from that one. It's about time to send this off because, like I said, it's from 1989, and this one is starting to drag just ever so slightly after you play it for a couple hours. So I need to send that off. And then a single disc player. I have a 5-disc player, which is a Yamaha, actually up there in my closet in the top shelf. It was over here on this wall whenever I had all the records and TV and stuff up, but I've got it up there right now. And then down on the bottom, actually let me back that up. Have to have an adapter for the headphones, you know. That way if you get a set of headphones that has a 3.5mm jack like ones you would have on your iPod or something, you can actually plug them into this and plug it into that and listen to them if you have a really nice pair, or that's your only pair. And then, you know, you got to have your cassettes. Really, really good soundtrack right there. I mean, real good soundtrack. Eddie and the Cruisers. And then, you know, John Lennon live. And a few little odd and ends. Now here's something I bet most of you have not seen. We'll get a couple of them down. Look at these little mini discs. Yep, The Who, Chess Doo-Wop, Patsy Cline. Now I didn't have a choice. Bill Haley in his comments. I didn't have a lot of choices in what they had when I found these. So I bought every one of them. Right? Let me get one of them out so you can see. Look how small this sucker is. That might be 3 inches. Really, really small. And yes, it'll fit in here. That's what this little indentation in the middle is for. See? Fits right in there. Will it play? Let's find out. And it should automatically turn on the CD player. If it don't, I'll do it when it goes to play. Yep, there it goes. But yep, it actually plays, believe it or not. That little 3-inch disc. Very cool. But we have, like I said, the AX-RX 97 amp. We've got the FX97 AM FM computer controlled tuner. We have the TD W95 dual cassette deck and the XL V95 single disc player. And then down here we have the original turntable that goes with it. And yes, it still works. It has a new belt on it and a new needle on it. I'll pull it out in a second to show you. And then, yeah, like I said, I have a handful of 45s, and as you can see, these are a lot smaller than the other ones. But here's the original one. This is not the cover that goes on it. They did not come with a cover. But I found this, and they were going to throw it away at a local Goodwill. So I said, well, can I have it? I'll give you $1 for it. And then I went to my local record store, Repo Records in Charlotte, North Carolina, and bought me a slip mat for it, because that's what the original mat looks like, still like new. But I wanted to put this on here so you know the records don't slide when you drop them on and all that stuff. And then you got to have your adapters for the 45s. See if I can get this back on here and back in without tearing everything up. But that's the original one. Like I said, it still works, still plays, sounds really good. It doesn't sound as good as the Technics, but it does sound really good. It just doesn't have the adjustments on it like I showed you for the anti-skating and for the head, you know, to be able to counterbalance the head. It's it's already balanced really well, and it doesn't have any skating across from the factory. But I'm one of those guys that really like to mess with stuff, and it's never good enough. So when I found this, and get this, I found this one at a yard sale, $5. The only thing wrong with it was I had a busted belt. The belt had rotted over the years, and it was just laying down in the bottom of it in pieces. So I went up to Charlotte and got me a belt for it at the record store, and been playing ever since. This one is a backup to the one I use. Right? But I found this at a local thrift store. It's a Yamaha Auto Return P10. No, it's not a very expensive one, but hey, Yamaha is known for their quality and sound quality and everything. And I couldn't pass it up because it was only like $4.99, I believe, is what I paid for it. And I put a slip mat on it also. There you go. It still looks like new. This one currently is not working because it needs a belt. The motor still works good and everything. And I took the belt off this because it uses the same size. I just have not went and got one for it yet. So I took it off that and tried it. It still works fine. Spins the turntable and everything. But this one does not have a needle currently. I need to get a new cartridge needle for it. This is not the one. This is the one that went to the JVC one. This is just the old cheapo that came with it, and I bought a better quality one and put it on there. And I'm just saving that just in case. But this one doesn't have a needle, so I got to get a new cartridge and a needle for that. It does have anti-skating, and it does have on the very back, there's a knob back here that you can turn to set the head weight, and it has the cue, the cut. So if I press that when it's playing, it'll pick this up, bring it back, and set it back down, and then shut everything off. And then this will raise it up and down just like the one up top, the cue. And then I select my speed here. As you can tell, it doesn't have the adjustment for the speed and all that stuff, but you can't complain. Like I said, $5 at the local thrift store. Right now, I guess they found out that people are back into this stuff and everything and really wanting turntables. Now you can't get them for less than $20. But that's pretty much it, guys and gals. That's my stereo system. For whatever reason, people have been wanting to see it, so there you go. And there you go, guys and gals. Like I said, it definitely sounds way, way better than all those CDs. Now don't get me wrong, I like my CDs. They're easy to, you stick them in the car. You can't take a record player with you. But I just wanted to show you guys that because I had been promising that I would, and I figured since I'm home alone tonight and the wife's not here, just me and Coop Dude, he's over here in his cube. Let me see if I can get him on camera. There he is. Hey, Coop. Yeah, well, I figured for the end of the video I'd use the lights that I set up to light me up. That way I wouldn't be so dark, right? But I don't know. Record players, records, it's just, there's something about going into a store, finding a stack of records, and just flipping through them and seeing what you come up with. Sometimes you hit nothing, sometimes you hit gold. I went into a thrift store one time. Well, I had a thrift store, and I would stop just about every other day on the way home and go in there and look at their electronics and look at their records and stuff. Always the same thing. You're always going to find the Kingsman, you're always going to find Herb Albert, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's the type of music that you're in. And you're always going to find the old opera records, the Mexican records you can't understand. You're going to have the, well, like I said, a lot of Christian or Catholic music. Always, always, always there. So I go in this one day, well, actually I didn't even make it in. Talk to the wife, I pull up, I tell her that I'm going to stop and look around, and as soon as I pull up and looked in the window, I could see this brand new, well, not brand new, new to there, rack system. It's like these cubes, but it was 3 high and 4 wide. No kidding, it was huge, and I could see in each one of them records. It is stacked to the hilt with records. I went in and I picked up a bunch. I think I spent like $67. I think that's what it was, and I could have spent more. because they were all different. The records that they normally have were still in the other room. These were all new that somebody had donated. And I could have spent easily $100 in there, but I bought a lot of records. Ted Nugent all the way on down to ABBA and everything in between. It was a fun find. But what I'm trying to tell you is, that's my stereo system. That's my records. That's what I like doing. I enjoy doing it. It's just something fun. Sitting here working on the computer, I could play an album on there, you know, on YouTube, because I've got the speakers. I got the speakers, right? Clips, audio, sound real good. But there's just something about a clicking LP record. It just sounds to me so much better. It's pleasing. And you know that in 20-22 minutes, you can get up, take it off if you don't like it, and put another one on. If you like it, you flip it over and there's another 22 minutes. And it's just something great. I don't know. It's like books, magazines. I'm old school. I like to have them in my hand. I don't like looking at magazines or books online. I want it in my hand. Yes, it prevents me from having a bunch of books laying around, a bunch of magazines laying around. I understand that. But there's just something about feeling stuff, you know. Now, I'll quit rambling, babbling, and boring you guys to death. I'm sorry, I know. But that's it. That's my stereo system. I've had it since 1989, and it just goes to show that if you take care of whatever it is, and I'll get back to that in another video, if you take care of what you have, whether it be stereo equipment or cars, and like I said, I'll get back to this in another video coming very, very soon. Right? Your vehicle, your record player, your furniture, anything that you have that you take care of will last a very, very long time. Why spend money when you don't have to? Be on the lookout. I promise. It's coming soon. Very, very soon. But until then, you guys know what I say. Get out there and enjoy your car if you can. I know winter's upon us, and some of you have to take your cars and put them up in the garage. Oh, I don't know how y'all do that. I swear, I just don't know how y'all do that. I'd move. I don't care. I know all the excuses, family, children, all that stuff. The children can make new friends at the new school. You can make new friends at the house, and you can call the family on the phone, or even, you know, video chat them, because you don't see them that much. I know you don't. With all that said, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.